Reincarnation, the belief that when you die, it's not the end, it's just a reset. Your soul leaves one body and returns in another, ready for a brand new life. This idea has been around for thousands of years. From Hinduism's samsara, to the Buddha's teachings on rebirth, to even ancient Greek thinkers like Pythagoras, who claim to remember living other lives. In many traditions, the cycle is driven by karma, a kind of spiritual cause and effect. Some say it's not punishment, just growth. Each life is a lesson, every relationship and hardship carefully chosen to help the soul evolve. There are also modern cases, children describing past lives with names, places, and events they couldn't possibly know, sometimes matching real history. Researchers like Ian Stevenson have documented thousands of them. Though skeptics argue they're coincidences, false memories, or stories planted by suggestion, more unusual versions claim your soul can live multiple lives at once, or even reincarnate on other worlds. Some mystics believe birthmarks, irrational fears, or sudden talents are carryovers from before. And that leads to the big question, who decides where you end up next? Is it karma, a divine guide, or your own higher self making the choice before you're born? If past lives shape this one, is free will real, or are we playing out a script written over centuries? Oversoul theory. The idea that the you living this life is only one thread in a much larger tapestry. According to this view, each of us is part of a greater, higher consciousness, the Oversoul, that exists beyond time and space. Think of it like a tree. Your current life is one leaf, but the Oversoul is the entire tree, with countless leaves representing other lives, past, present, and even parallel. Philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson popularized the term Oversoul in the 1800s, describing it as a universal spirit connecting all living beings. In some spiritual teachings, the Oversoul isn't just a shared field, it's your highest self watching over multiple incarnations at once. That means you right now might be just one of many expressions your Oversoul is exploring. Another you could be living in the past, another in the future, or in a completely different world altogether. From this perspective, reincarnation isn't a straight line, it's more like your Oversoul sending out different lifetimes as scouts, each gathering experiences to bring back to the whole. Believers say moments of deep intuition, déjà vu, or sudden connection with a stranger could be your Oversoul passing along information from another life. Critics of course see it as poetic metaphor, a nice idea without proof. But if it's true, it reframes everything. You aren't just a single identity moving through time, you're part of a vast, interconnected being, experiencing reality from multiple angles at once. But if all those lives are connected, then every insight, every moment of growth might ripple through all of them. Which means the choices you make now could be shaping versions of you that you'll never consciously meet. Walk-ins. The idea that sometimes the soul that starts a life isn't the one that finishes it. According to this belief, a walk-in happens when one soul leaves a body mid-life and another soul steps in to take over, like switching drivers without stopping the car. In many accounts, this happens during intense physical or emotional trauma, a near-death experience, a coma, or a moment of deep crisis. The departing soul may have completed its purpose, or simply no longer wants to continue, and another soul with a compatible mission takes its place. The new soul often brings noticeable changes. People close to the walk-in might say their personality, tastes, or even voice suddenly shift. Some report that overnight they lost old interests, gained new skills, or felt a total sense of detachment from their former life. For believers, this is the moment the handover happened. The concept is found in various spiritual traditions and has gained traction in modern metaphysical circles. Some see it as a compassionate arrangement, one soul agreeing to take over the lease so the body can keep going without starting a brand new life from scratch. Others describe it as a fast track for advanced souls who want to get to work without going through childhood. Skeptics point to psychological explanations, personality changes from trauma, mental health shifts, or simply the natural reinvention people go through after major life events. But for those who've experienced it, the sense is clear. They are not who they were before. If it's true, it blurs the line between my life and a life I've been given. Soul contracts. The idea that before we're born, our souls sit down somewhere beyond time and draw up the blueprint for our next life, who we'll meet, what challenges we'll face, the lessons we're here to learn. It's not about fate trapping us, more like signing up for a game, knowing the levels will get harder, but also more rewarding. The concept appears in different ways across cultures. In certain New Age and metaphysical circles, it's described as agreements made between souls, sometimes with the help of guides or higher beings. Even some mystical Jewish teachings hint at the soul's journey being mapped out before birth. The idea is that nothing major is truly random. Your relationships, hardships, even betrayals might be part of a plan you agree to for your own growth. For example, that difficult boss who taught you patience, the friend who betrayed you and forced you to set boundaries. According to this philosophy, they're not just obstacles, they're actors in the play you helped cast. Critics see this as wishful thinking or even dangerous, a way to justify suffering by saying, you chose this. But for believers, it's empowering. It means life has structure, and even the pain might serve a higher purpose. Some theories suggest we can edit our soul contracts midlife through conscious choice, spiritual growth, or deep healing. Others believe the contract holds until the final scene of that lifetime, no matter what. The big question is, if these contracts are real, how much freedom do we actually have? Are we truly making choices, or just following a cosmic agreement we've forgotten signing? Maybe it's both, a map we drew for ourselves, but with room to wander off the trail. And if that's true, then every person you meet might just be an old soul keeping their end of the bargain. Soul fragmentation. The idea that the soul isn't always a single unbreakable whole. In this view, deep trauma, intense grief, or extreme spiritual experiences can cause parts of the soul to split off. Some traditions see it as a survival mechanism. When something is too overwhelming, a piece of your essence detaches to protect the rest of you. Shamanic cultures have spoken of this for centuries. In some Native American and Siberian practices, soul loss is said to happen after shock or tragedy, leaving a person feeling disconnected, hollow, or incomplete. In these traditions, shamans perform soul retrieval ceremonies to bring those fragments back. Modern metaphysical circles often describe it in similar terms. A person who's been through abuse, war, or heartbreak might feel like a part of them is missing. According to this philosophy, that's not just a metaphor, it's literal. The missing piece could be stuck in the past, hidden in a different realm, or even attached to another person involved in the event. Critics argue this is just psychology dressed in spiritual clothing, that soul fragmentation is simply trauma and dissociation explained in mystical terms. But for believers, it's more than that. Healing isn't just emotional, it's the reintegration of lost spiritual parts. Some even say fragments can travel across lifetimes, meaning a piece of your current soul could be from a life centuries ago, or could split now and resurface in a future incarnation. Pre-birth planning. The idea that before you take your first breath, you've already chosen the script for your life. According to this view, your soul decides the family you'll be born into, the challenges you'll face, the talents you'll have, and even the obstacles that might break you, all for the sake of growth. It's similar to soul contracts, but more personal and detailed, like designing your own video game character and selecting the difficulty level before pressing start. In some New Age teachings, souls gather with guides, teachers, or members of their soul group in a kind of spiritual planning room, mapping out the events and relationships that will shape their incarnation. That doesn't mean every moment is fixed. Believers say you choose key turning points. The rest is flexible, like a choose-your-own-adventure where you can still wander off course. A sudden move, a career change, or meeting a particular person might feel like coincidence, but in this philosophy, they're markers you set for yourself before birth. Skeptics see this as a comforting narrative, a way to give meaning to suffering by saying this was part of the plan. But for those who believe it, it offers reassurance. You're never really lost, because even detours are on the map. Some go further, suggesting that souls choose difficult lives, even ones marked by illness, loss, or hardship, to fast-track their spiritual evolution. From the soul's perspective, they say, a lifetime of struggle can be the most valuable kind. Soul merging, the idea that two or more souls can blend together into a single stream of consciousness. Sometimes it's described as a temporary union, other times as a permanent fusion that creates an entirely new spiritual identity. In some mystical traditions, soul merging happens between soulmates or members of the same soul family, not just as a romantic idea, but as a deep energetic integration. The merged soul supposedly gains the experiences, wisdom, and even karmic imprints of both. In certain esoteric teachings, advanced spiritual beings merge with aspects of their own higher self, effectively downloading more of their divine nature into one life. Some people claim it happens spontaneously after profound love, shared trauma, or intense spiritual practice. Others say it's intentional, sought after through rituals or meditations designed to unite energies. Skeptics chalk it up to psychology, deep emotional bonding mistaken for a mystical union, but believers see it as a literal blending of essence with lasting effects. They report changes in personality, sudden new abilities, or even memories that feel like they came from another life, because in their view they did. More unusual accounts speak of merging with non-human consciousness, angels, spirit guides, or even interdimensional beings to gain access to knowledge and perspective beyond human limits. If it's real, soul merging raises big questions about identity. Are you still you after merging? Or have you become something entirely new? Maybe the answer is that the soul was never meant to be a fixed point, but a flowing current, joining with others on the way back to its source. Soul evolution. The belief that the soul is not static, but grows, matures, and transforms over countless lifetimes. In this view, every challenge, joy, failure, and triumph is a step on a long journey toward higher consciousness and ultimately unity with the divine. Many spiritual traditions echo this idea. Hinduism and Buddhism frame it through samsara and karma, the soul cycling through lives until it reaches liberation. In theosophy and other metaphysical systems, souls evolve through grades or densities, moving from basic survival-focused existences toward wisdom, compassion, and enlightenment. It's often compared to school. Each lifetime is a grade, with lessons you can't skip. Some are easy and joyful, others hard and humbling, but all serve the same purpose, expanding the soul's capacity for understanding and love. In some teachings, Earth is just one classroom among many, with souls reincarnating on other worlds or dimensions as they progress. Believers say signs of a more evolved soul include heightened intuition, empathy, and a sense of connection to all life. Skeptics see it as a comforting metaphor for personal growth, without any evidence beyond human imagination. Still, the idea has a certain poetry. If soul evolution is real, then every moment matters. Not because of some divine scoreboard, but because each choice shapes the soul you're becoming. Even the smallest act of kindness could ripple forward into lifetimes you can't yet imagine. And if there is an end to the process, it might not be an ending at all, but a homecoming, where the soul finally remembers it was never separate from the source it's been seeking.